It's that time of year again, where we are on the cusp of a new Pokemon game. Trailers are being thrown at us left and right for the new Scarlet and Violet games, and the hype is being built up. But are these games going to live up to the hype? These games are shaping out to be some of the best Pokemon games we've ever had. On paper, that is. As the first marketed open world game in the franchise. Not you, Legends Arceus. This is something we fans have wanted for a very long time. Especially the freedom to fight gyms at your own pace and in any order. 3 storylines to choose from with no more hand-holding. These games are looking to give the fans something that we've wanted for so long. Freedom! The reason why fans love the older games so much is because of the freedom the games gave you. Older games would include different branching paths that would entice the player to explore. And 2 hours later, you have completely forgotten about stopping the evil team, and they've probably already taken over the world while you were too busy exploring some random cave. Even a region like Unova seemed linear at first glance. But taking a closer look at the map itself, it really shows all the unique side areas that the player can explore and get lost in. It's this level of freedom of exploration that made fans love Gen 5. And now, Game Freak has heard our prayers. Lord Ishihara has blessed us with absolute freedom in these next installments of the series. Or so we think. The open world aspect of the games has been a key marketing strategy for them, as this has been something the fans have wanted for a very long time. But are they truly open world? Legends Arceus was open world, but it was a limited open world, where you as the player had to unlock different areas and complete the main quest in order to progress to the next area. But the leaks have been detrimental to the game's open worldness. Thanks to certain leaks from Centro and the other data miners, it's looking like the gyms may not be as open world as players may have hoped. The idea is that the player will progress through the gyms in any order, and that the level curve would adapt to their player's level. Well, it turns out that the gym leaders have set levels, but there is no order the player can take on the gyms. That much is true, as far as we know, so in theory, you can grind to level 50 and take on the level 50 gym at the start of the game, and then proceed to steamroll through the rest of the lower level gyms. This is what's being leaked at the moment, but we'll have to see if that is all true or not. They may even lock certain high level gyms until you have a set amount of gym badges. Who knows? Open world games have been trying to recreate Breath of the Wild ever since it released back in 2017. This is apparent in games such as Elden Ring or Genshin Impact. The ultimate goal of Breath of the Wild was to defeat Calamity Ganon, but the order of the divine beast you take on is completely up to you. But the idea is that the player will get distracted by the different and unique areas in the world to explore, such as shrines, towns, hidden secrets, all for the developers to pull you away from the straight path. The game adapts to the player's progression throughout the game, which doesn't make it feel too steamrolled. And this is what Pokemon has to do with its game to make it truly open world. For a game that is centered around the level of your Pokemon, the game should adapt and change according to your Pokemon's levels. If the game doesn't entice the player with enough side material to explore, the game will feel stale and linear, like the recent installments of the games. The towns need to feel fleshed out. They need to be alive. They can't be the sad excuses that were the Sword and Shield towns and cities. Literally. Balanlea was one of the coolest cities in Sword and Shield, just aesthetic alone. A magical forest filled with glowing mushrooms, but there were literally 4 buildings you were allowed to explore, half of which included the Poke Center and the gym. These games have a lot going for them. Let's just hope it doesn't underwhelm us come release. These games are even bringing back old fan favorites and improving them. This includes raids that were introduced in Sword and Shield, Pokemon out in the overworld, although it was quite underwhelming in Sword and Shield, and even Totem Pokemon making a comeback from Alola. The raids are getting a revamp, allowing players to not have to wait their turn when attacking the raid Pokemon. Fans speculate there will be a move gauge that needs to fill up in order to attack, kind of like Pokemon Go and Masters EX. They are even giving the trainers the ability to actually be trainers, giving support and cheering the team on, which will give boosts to the team stats. Also making a return is Pokemon appearing in the overworld. First introduced with the Let's Go games, then expanded upon in Sword and Shield, Pokemon out in the wild, and the open world itself, which really gives the game life. But Legends Arceus actually attempted to give the Pokemon more character and make their textures actually look natural to the environment. And it's looking like Scarlet and Violet may even expand on that. Maybe even allow Pokemon to interact with each other. The idea of the Pokemon world is so fascinating and great, but in execution of the games, it falls flat. These magical animals roaming the wild in their natural habitat. It should feel like what Pokemon Snap is, and not. But Scarlet and Violet are looking good in that department so far. So let's move on to Totem Pokemon. To be honest, I was never a fan of the Alolan games. They were too hand-holding, and they completely got rid of the gyms. Why, Game Freak? Why? But the totem Pokemon proved to be an apt solution for the absence of gyms. Solid boss Pokemon that actually proved to be a little challenging. But of course, not for the likes of me. But seriously, the totem Pokemon were a good addition, and they brought them back as Titan Pokemon. Just another T-letter word that could mean big and powerful. But these Titans are going to be part of the Herba Mystica story that is one of the 3 story paths that the player can choose. We don't know too much about these Titan Pokemon. They don't seem too challenging from what we've seen in the trailers, but it does look like they can run away if you take too long, or if they take too much damage, then you have to chase them down. Legends Arceus gave us actual boss Pokemon that worked a lot like Dark Souls, which I think actually worked well with Pokemon. If they continue to go down this route, I think the future of these games are in good hands. Game Freak are also bringing in some new innovative ideas that no one really asked for, but could be a good change for the franchise. Scarlet and Violet are adding auto battles to the game, which will be enjoyable for the more casual fanbase who don't care too much for grinding XP. They are also adding crafting, much like other open world RPGs like Breath of the Wild. The player will be able to collect crafting material from defeating wild Pokemon and use the items to craft stuff. Right now, the trailers only show that you can craft TMs, which is a really cool idea to implement into the games. Creates a more grindy RPG experience that is already an aspect in most RPGs. And they are bringing back single-use TMs, so you can't just teach Shadow Ball and Thunder to every Pokemon. They are even getting rid of breeding! How am I supposed to run around for hours at a time trying to hatch shinies with the Masuda method now? This change is a big one and has the fanbase up in arms, but we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out with the game's release. If they execute on these aspects well, I look forward to what they may bring in future installments of the franchise. Lastly, let's wrap things up on how well their marketing team has executed the marketing of these games. Each trailer feels exciting and fresh, bringing new life and hype to the games before they're even released. They experimented a bit for the Gen 8 game trailers such as the Galarian Ponyta livestream reveal, and the Hisuian Zorua and Zoroark for Legends Arceus, and have continued this trend into these games using creative ways to market Pokemon such as Grafaiai and Wiggly. They're even going as far as marketing their gym leaders with the introduction of Iono as a live streamer and introducing a new Pokemon through her like Bellibolt. It gives the character personality and creates new ways to reveal Pokemon in a unique and creative way. I think these marketing strategies help give spotlight to newer Pokemon who may not be as interesting or cool in the game without these trailers, considering there's about 1,000 Pokemon now. In the end, whether these games will be good or not will be up to your own interpretation when the game's released. I truly believe Game Freak and Pokemon are taking a step in the right direction. Outsourcing side games such as Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to another company relieves some of the stress off the main series games, allowing them to focus all of their efforts towards making the best game they can become. I think these games are a step in the right direction for where the Pokemon games are headed, and even if Scarlet and Violet end up as duds, they'll learn a lot of valuable information from these games in order to make the next generation, Gen 10, the best game in the franchise. I'm calling it right here, betting my money on it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. It means a lot if you would leave a like and subscribe so we can continue making great content for you guys. Let us know what you're most excited about from the game. And without further ado, I'll see you next video. Goodbye.